Porque cuidar el planeta es responsabilidad de todos. Somos Green Incorporado invita a su gran cena de gala pro recaudación de fondos el sábado 12 de mayo en el Fairways at Woburn Country Club. Estos fondos serán utilizados para donar 2 sistemas solares a 2 centros de ayuda y rehabilitación en la República Dominicana. Únase a nosotros a celebrar nuestro segundo aniversario y a la vez ser parte de algo extraordinario. Habrá reconocimientos, rifas, premios y entretenimiento, tales como el artista Félix de Olio. Vestimenta formal. Boletos a la venta en nuestra página web www.somosgreen.org. Para más información, llamar a Zoraida al 978-609-0771. Somos Green. El futuro depende de hoy.
Somos Green has a referral program that pays $250. Saving energy is not only good for your home, it's also good for the planet. Call today 978-609-0771. 978-609-0771. Somos Green. The future depends on what we do today. Somos Green presents Mente Positiva, Cuerpo Sano. Analyzing topics that help us physically and mentally in our daily lives. With the most emphasis in family matters, achieving goals, making our dreams come true, developing personal leadership, and other topics of general interest. Now, please enjoy Mente Positiva, Cuerpo Sano. With your hosts, entrepreneur, businessman Julio Santos, and producer Zoraida Rosado. This program is sponsored by Somos Green. Saliendo de los gritos después de dejar mi mamá, luchando contra un cáncer que no se puede curar. Si pasara una familia al frente y los señor de edad, una doña, 2 muchachas y varias.
Yes, yes, yes. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful raining day today. Oh my goodness, beautiful New England today. Right, Zoraida?
Good afternoon to everyone.
Welcome, 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 Zoraida. Welcome. Tell me
Happy Friday
how you
to
feel
everyone.
today. How do you feel today?
I feel well. I feel
Yeah?
good. Yes. Yes. Happy Friday, and I hope that so far everyone has had a peaceful Holy Week.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our program Mente Positiva, Cuerpo Sano. This is Julio Santos in Zoraida Rosado from Impacto 1490. Zoraida, this program, we have to tell it all the time that we
Of
are
course
here in the
we
microphone.
do. This radio program is based on the First Amendment of the Constitution. We all have freedom of expression. Several things we say are sometimes without limits. This is just our point of view, and we do not expect you to agree 100% with everything we will say or suggest. Anything we share is for educational purposes and to guide you. You have the freedom to research it.
It's also good to let them know that this program is also created with all the love in the world for everybody, Señor, to guide for enjoying and guidance. This program is also available via Facebook, right?
Correct.
YouTube. If you don't have the time, if you are working that time between 3 to 4, you can actually go later on, because I guarantee that I'm gonna post it later on on YouTube. You can actually go and listen to the whole program.
Yes, he will upload it on
Yes,
YouTube.
absolutely. Well, Zoraida, I will give you the honor to take over from now, and whatever topics you want to talk today.
Yeah, well, this one is a very important topic, and I'm sure a lot of people are very concerned. But first, before I begin, I want to say today is Good Friday, so happy Friday to everyone. And also, I want to take a moment to promote the Black Tie Charity Gala that Somos Green will be having on May 12 at 7 p.m.
Black Tie Charity Gala. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Please visit our website on the events page to purchase your ticket. Please note that tickets will not be sold at the door, so it would be smart to purchase your tickets in advance. And also, you can go over to the donation page and make a donation so we can successfully be able to donate these 2 solar systems to this developing country, which one will go to a nursing home and the other one will go to a rehabilitation center that gives classes and teaches children with disabilities. So please, to purchase tickets online, please visit the events page at www.somasgreen.org.
Absolutely. So this event is gonna be in February at Woodward Country Club.
Fairways
at Woodward Country Club. We're gonna start at 7 o'clock, right? 7 p.m.
Correct. It's cocktail hour is from 7 to 8.
And we're gonna end at 12, hopefully. Let's
Well,
see how's everybody
It
behaving.
depends because we have this fabulous DJ.
Oh,
His
DJ
name is
Cito.
Cito.
DJ Cito.
And
Cito
it's
Espinal.
going to be our first time doing business with him. But he's got raving reviews, and he's absolutely excellent.
Absolutely. So in that gala, we're gonna have a lot of performance.
Well, we're going to have several performances.
Yeah,
several.
Anthony Bernabe is gonna be playing the saxophone there.
Yeah. He will be playing during cocktail hour. Yes.
And the famous artist Felix de Olio is gonna be there. Felix de Olio.
Correct. The
All his-
Dominican artist.
Yeah, excellent. Also, everybody remember the name the word gala. We're gonna give it their specific meaning on this word.
Well, it's a formal gala. It's a
formal gala, yeah.
And also the theme is the Cinderella Ball. So everyone is required
To
to
dress
be in a
properly.
tuxedo or a formal gown.
I can't wait to
please.
see Santos in that tuxedo.
Because it's going to be an evening of glamour, and it's going to be beautiful.
Beautiful, excellent. Well, May 12th. Take notes of that day. Make sure that you put that one in the calendar. May 12th. But buy your ticket on time, please. Buy your ticket now.
Yes.
Now. All right, Soraya, what else you got today?
Well, we're going to continue on with our topic. This topic we had it last week in Spanish, and now we're going to discuss it in English. So my first question is, do you know that we have a national obsession with guns and media violence?
Oh my goodness, it's making me crazy right now, honestly.
Did you know that that's an
Oh.
obsession?
Yes, it's an obsession right now. It's crazy. All the multimedia, the YouTube channels, everything right now is just talking about guns and tooth for tooth.
An eye for an eye.
Eye for an eye.
But anyway, during our show last week, we talked about the school shooting on March 20th in Maryland by a 17-year-old. While politicians argue endlessly over gun control, we need to work on preventing school shootings and other violence against humans. If it's not a bombing, it's a school shooting, and it's a school shooting or a place where our children go to learn and grow. The government should do more to prevent such incidents and take it more seriously. The gun control debate has proven so divisive and ineffective because of the Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms. So, just because of this Second Amendment, we can't sit and wait for the politicians to act. We have to ourselves do something to prevent all these school shootings or any type of shootings anywhere in a public vicinity.
Yeah. You know, now that you mentioned what happened in February 14, right?
No, March 20th.
In March 20. I read by CNN. They did an interview to the parents about what happened. If they really knew their son, and you know, it was funny because in the statement.
You mean it's not funny? You mean it was odd?
No,
with their response.
It was crazy the way they respond.
Yeah.
They said, "You know what? We never know that we have a monsters on our house." They say, I was just thinking, oh my God, do you really know your son?
No, that's absurd. That response is absurd. Absurd. Because no matter what happens, no matter what the child does, it's your child. It's your responsibility. Where were you? What were you doing during this whole time that he was growing up? Do you even know what was going on in school? Did he have any issues? Was someone attacking him, bullying him? The question is, why are mass shootings becoming more common?
More common right now, yeah.
What drives mass shootings? What is the behavioral pattern? Is it aggressive childhood behavior? Is it stress and not being able to control emotions so the person feels like he or she needs to act out? How do we understand and prevent rampant violence? Because the way humans are reacting right now and responding to anything that happens to them is with violence.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that they are being so bombarded. They are absorbing all this violence, which they get from television, from whatever they
Or
see
your
on
hearings,
Facebook, whatever
the
they
radios.
listen to, whatever
Mhm.
music they listen to, their surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
They are absorbing all of this, and their only reaction when something happens is for violence.
Correct.
They act in a violent manner,
Correct.
which is very inappropriate.
Yes, I think, Zoraida, today we live in a world. This is like for me, this is a paradox. I know that I mention that word all the time, but this is really a paradox what we live in today. And people probably listen the world and what I'm saying about paradox, and they don't understand exactly what I mean by that. When I say the word paradox, I'm talking about the statement that is similarly contradictory or opposite to the logical, or people call common sense, but totally is the opposite. It's totally contrary to what is exactly the common sense of the thing.
So basically, it's they think what we see as not being normal.
Yeah.
They believe it's normal.
They believe it's normal. That's exactly, it's also
Well, it depends
ups
on
and
the
down.
environment, of course. I'm going to think something is normal if it's always happened. If from childhood to adulthood, I have seen something that in someone else's eyes is
Mhm.
violent, but in my eyes it's normal, you have to understand. For me, it's normal because I've lived that way through my childhood. And then someone who did not and is looking at it and listening to it,
Mhm.
they're looking at me and they're saying, this is absurd, this is violent.
This is violent, yeah.
Like, when did you begin this? When did this begin happening to you?
Yeah.
So it's two factors. It's either mental illness or we have availability of guns too much.
Mm, I will say, Zoraida, honestly, because today everybody's questioning everything. If you say something logical to somebody, for instance, you say, if you don't drink water, you're gonna die soon. And they even question that. Even
Well,
something logical.
The first question would be, how
with
long
common
can I
sense.
go without water?
Yes.
That's what they're going to ask you. How long can I go?
But what I mean by that is everybody's questioning anything. Anything that is logical, they still questioning.
Well, a lot of things should be questioned. But I believe what I'm seeing is that killing has become easy and living has become more difficult. Day-to-day things are more difficult, whereas becoming violent and having all this aggression is much easier.
Absolutely, yeah. One thing, is one word that I really want to I believe, and I really think is the main problem that we have today in our society, is the world involvement. How involved are you with your children? Are you really close to your children? Are you the best friend of your children? Or somebody else is the best friend of your children?
Well, are you a good support group for your child? That's, something that needs to be questioned.
Mm-hmm.
During the 24 hours, how many hours do you spend
Quality.
Well, not even quality. Actually motivating,
Mm-hmm.
supporting, and counseling your child.
Counseling. How committed you are with your child?
How much do you communicate? Because on average, 31 Americans are murdered with guns every day. That's a lot.
So that everything just told me that as a society, where we are right now, we are not doing a good job. The job that we are doing today as a responsible for this society is totally wrong. We got everything totally wrong. That's what all those numbers just tell me that.
Well, when I was updating our business Facebook, I came across a video that really it really opened my eyes to what is going on in our generation. There is this child that's walking down the hallway, and you have 3 or 4 other males, young, his age, probably 12, 13, and they are beating him as he's walking down, and he's trying to ignore them. Now, this probably happens every single day.
Wow.
So my question would be, those are the 3 or 4 children that are beating on this one child. What in the world is going on in their home? What in the world is going on in their mind? What kind of teachings is going on that these children believe, and then other children around believe that this is the best thing in the world, to watch one child get beaten by 4.
By 4 people.
And then everyone crowds around and is cheering. Where in the world does humanity get this, that we're supposed to cheer while someone else is being beaten?
It's just, I'm telling you,
It reminds
it's
me.
a paradox.
It reminds me of when Jesus was being beaten. There was a lot of people that they were cheering.
Laughing and cheering.
What
and
in the
everything.
world is that?
Mm-hmm.
That's absurd.
One of the biggest issues that we have in
And then they wonder why these children come back to school, condoning none of this. But I'm going to play the devil's advocate.
yeah,
They come back and they shoot everyone down because they are tired of being beaten every day. So I am not getting support at home.
mm-hmm.
I am not getting support in school. And I'm being beaten by 3 or 4 kids every day. I mean, come on.
And who knows for how many years he's being abused. One of the things, Zoraida, is blame. Because if you study the history, where we came from, or everything in the society today, everybody's just blaming somebody else about
it's
what
easier.
happened.
It's easier for them, that's why.
Remember what happened in the Eden, when
In the Garden of
in
Eden?
the Garden of Eden, when Adam was blaming Eve
Of
for
course.
what happened.
Of course.
Since that time, that's the first couple that we have registered today. So we're gonna start from there. Since that time, everybody's blaming somebody else. The teacher blamed the student because the student is not learning, right? The parents, they blame the teacher because the teacher is not teaching correctly.
A child, parent, everyone needs to note this down. A child will learn so easy in school. I know this from experience. Will learn so easy in school if their home life is healthy. If the child has a healthy home life where it includes communication, attention, support, and a good relationship with everyone in the family, there's no way that child is not going to learn.
Yes, because
the
it's
child
right in the right environment.
correct, in a healthy environment. But the child is going to be eager to learn, because when the child learns, he feels that he can go home and teach his family or show them so they can be proud of him. Now, if you have a child that's at home and no one is paying attention to him and no one could care what goes on with him, he doesn't have the communication or the support, the child's going to go to school and it's difficult to learn, because why should I learn? No one cares. Why am I here? No one cares. I'm going to learn this stuff and use it when, where, how.
Correct.
There's no reason for it.
There's no reason. One of the things that I've been learning in learning about cultures and people behaviors is a lot of irresponsible people today, and they've been
We're humans, irresponsible humans.
They actually wants to be they wants to say the word freedom. But one thing that I always say is the word freedom and the word responsibilities, they goes together. You cannot separate being free and not be responsible, because they go together.
Correct.
If you really study the Bible and all those things that they said in the Bible, those two words, they go together. You can't be say like the slave cannot say, I want freedom from my master, and then the master is going to give you food, because it doesn't work that way. If you say, I'm going to be free, that means you need to be responsible for getting your own food. Is that right?
Correct.
We really need to have everything right today, because to bring a child to this world, you really need to think that this is I will say a 21 years project minimum. 21 years old project.
No, I would say this is a life project.
It's a life project.
It's a life
It's a lifetime project.
Yeah,
But-
life.
But people, they
'Cause
are
I'm
not.
still not done.
Yeah,
It's a
people,
life
they are not
project.
conscious about that.
Mm-hmm.
They are not conscious. You know, if I bring a child to this world, I'm 24/7
It's not
responsible.
even a child. When you bring a human to this world, that human is with you all your life. That's it.
That's
it's
it.
It's a lifelong responsibility.
Correct.
Everyone's willing to go into a contract of 30 years, 40 years, but they're not willing to go into that contract with their child for
Mhm.
all their life.
Absolutely. If you are not ready to have a child, look at, for example, my own example. I'm 30 years old. I don't have child yet. I don't have kids yet. Because one of the things that I really learned from my parents' experiences is they weren't the responsible parents. I cannot relate to them as a responsibles. In some ways, they were responsible, you know, making sure that I have food and things like that. Sometimes, not always. But in most of the time, you know, they were responsible with me. They are two people, educated persons, having a child without being 100% responsible and committed and involved in my own life. The last time, well, you were with me in that day. In that day when we sat down with my father in Dominican Republic, remember that day in Santiago?
Yes, I do.
In that restaurant?
We're having dinner.
We were having dinner. That was actually the first time that I have a long conversation with my father.
And actually share things.
Absolutely.
That's when it was your first time in so many years. It was your
38,
first time.
30 years.
No, your first time in 36 years.
36 years.
36
yeah.
years that you actually was able to connect and understand why he did the things he did.
And honestly, they did what they did, so I cannot blame them. I just passed that one already because thanks to the Creator, I had two more brothers, Juan Carlos and Carlos Manuel. I was most relate to Juan Carlos, for example. Whatever happened in my school, I went back to Juan Carlos and just tell him what happened in the school. If I fall in love with somebody, I will tell Juan Carlos what happened. If I fall in love with that somebody, I will tell Juan Carlos what happened. So he was the one actually involved in my own life because my parents they weren't.
Well, to this day, you guys still communicate.
We still communicate in different ways, yes. But the question is that I will really ask everybody outside, everybody's listening right now, driving or in their house or in their businesses. How involved are you with your kids?
Correct. That's a very good question.
Do you know how their emotions are?
Yeah, because then maybe we can prevent these things from happening. But I do have to say that schools have been attacked since the early years. Killing children seems to be more of an impact than killing adults nowadays. Because I want to share something that happened back in 1927. Someone shared this with me. It's about the bombing in Bath, Michigan.
Okay.
It happened in 1927.
1927.
So, yeah, and it's something that it's so shocking because you have this adult person that decides that in order to get back at another adult, he is going to massacre all these children that have nothing to do with it. But anyway, it's the deadliest school massacre on May 18th of 1927. The recent shootings have led many people to characterize school violence as a modern affliction. But the deadliest school-related massacre in American history happened in 1927. At an elementary school in Bath, Michigan, a school board member named Andrew Keough, upset over a burdensome property tax, wired the building with dynamite, okay, the whole building, and set it off in the morning of May 18th. Andrew's actions killed 45 people, 38 of whom were children. At the time, Bath, Michigan was a small farm community with under 300 residents. So you can imagine, 45 minus 300.
Oh my God.
The school was expensive and the township raised property taxes in order to repay the school's bonds. So this upset Andrew, who was a local farmer with training as an electrical engineer. And he was a stubborn man of drastic solutions to small problems. Okay? His neighbor Ellsworth writes that Andrew once shot a noisy dog and killed his own horse because it was lazy.
Oh, wow.
Talk about anger management.
Yep.
Andrew really hated taxes and joined the school board to argue against them. So he ended up joining the school board because he wanted to be present and he wanted his opinion to be heard. He wanted them to listen and hear that, hey, I'm going through some tough situations right now. Please do not raise taxes. But this is what happened. His farm was also facing foreclosure and the board raised his property taxes. Over the course of several months, Andrew gained access to the school and packed it tight with dynamite that was wired together so expertly. The school exploded at 8:45 a.m. on May 18. At that point, after killing his wife and destroying his farm, Andrew hopped inside an explosive laden truck and drove to the school. 30 minutes after the initial attack, while conversing with the superintendent, check this out, he's standing there conversing with the superintendent, he detonated the truck bomb, killing himself, the superintendent, and a few others. Later, investigators found that a short circuit in Andrew's wiring was the only thing that stopped the attack from claiming more lives. Not only did he wire the whole school, but he wired the whole area.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so if that would have went off, he would have taken the whole town
whole
practically.
town down.
Yes. What he did was this. He put 500 pounds of dynamite and several sacks of gunpowder were found under a portion of the building that remained standing. If the explosion had gone as planned, Bath's entire downtown might have been destroyed. He was determined to kill the whole town because of tax increases that affected his livelihood. We don't truly know the mental state of a human being when they are in pain, going through trauma, desperate, or they feel they have no control over their life.
That's
So
true.
if an adult is doing this, and now we're seeing our children doing these kind of things, think about it. What is going through that child's mind that he feels, I do not have control of my life, and I do not have the support system that I need. Why am I here? And many commit suicide because they're thinking, why in the world will you bring me to this world
To suffer.
and I do not have
Mhm.
the support that I need?
Correct.
I'm crying out for help by cutting myself, by not doing my homework, by not wanting to go to school, by being aggressive, by being moody. Come on, and nobody is listening, nobody's paying attention. Why? Because all of the parents nowadays are too busy on Facebook,
Oh boy.
or too busy texting their
Oh, wow.
boyfriends, or too busy doing things that really don't matter at the end of the day.
The nails
Are
has to
you
be
kidding
nice.
me? Do not get me going on this because this is absurd. How these parents want to be parents, but they really cannot pay attention to their children when the child is trying to speak to you, trying to show you something, trying to show you that he knows something for the first time, or that he wants you to read him a book. But you
He's just curious about something.
correct. Or you just set him to the side because you're too busy texting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That is very sad. I had to
Yeah.
share that because
That's wonderful.
these
That's
attacks
wonderful.
on schools
Yeah.
are from early on, and it's just, we need to do something. It
Going
needs to
on and
stop.
on and on. Yeah.
It needs to stop, seriously.
Definitely, we have to become conscious on what we're doing today because we are responsible. We have to be it's one world that I would like everybody to take that world and just dig into that world and just putting it inside you, because we need to have the involvement.
Yeah, but it's really more take action. There are actions we can take while we wait for the federal government to actually do something to prevent this from happening again. Children and young adults need to be taught social and emotional skills not only at home, but also in schools. So, since educators observe students' emotional and behavioral development daily, they are the best positioned to detect troubled behaviors and intervene in time.
Correct.
So it should also be instilled in schools.
Yep.
Hire more counselors and school resource officers. Train social workers and counselors that are on staff. I understand due to budget cuts, some schools don't have the staff. But in my opinion, school resource officers, trained police officers who work with children are also helpful for students. Well-trained school resource officers can connect with kids who have few other relationships, acting as a support system. They are also on hand to respond quickly if crime or violence erupts.
For sure, the way I see it, all those kids that today they don't want to leave, they don't want to be here in this world, is because they cannot find their own identity. And when they go to school, trying to get identity, the first thing the teacher is just teaching, math, scientists or whatever they're teaching, but they are not teaching the most important fundamentals here, which are principles, values, morals, because they blame the parents. They say no, they have to learn the same from the parents. But how many hours your kids spend in the school? How many
Children
hours?
spend 6 to 8 hours at school.
6 to 8 hours in the school.
Correct.
Every single day.
Correct. And then depending how early they go to bed for the next day, I'm thinking they really don't spend that many hours with their parents. Between homework and activities and, of course, bedtime, there's really not many hours. So that's why it's so precious that dinner time, please, don't have dinner time as in you eat in your room, I eat over here.
It's no intimacy. It's no intimacy with the kids.
Yeah,
it's no
dinner
intimacy.
time should be at the table, everyone. And during that time,
no iPads, no phones, no nothing.
Nothing.
Let's just be there.
Correct.
Let's connect.
Have conversations. Get to know one another from a long day.
You know what?
Explore.
I believe that the book that we are reading right now, that we are it's going to be published very soon.
Writing. We're not
writing.
Sorry,
we're writing that book, so it's going to be very, very popular because we're actually covering all those topics, and especially when we went to the restaurant, that we observe everybody, the way they behave, the way they everybody's just interact. Everybody's just busy with their phones, with their iPads, but no connection between the four human beings, between the father, the mother, and the two kids.
Why? I don't care what's going on with them. I'll care when something critical happens. That's too late.
That's too late.
It's too late. Don't care for me when something critical happens. Because it's way too late. Yeah.
One of the things, Soraya, the other day is actually, I was talking to a couple of parents, and they told me, Julio, the problem is, we as a parents, we have limits.
Oh, they have limits?
That's what they said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but when you went into that contract for 30 or 40 years, you had no limits, right?
That's what they said. To be involved in my child life, I have limits.
Oh, how nice.
Because my child right now is 21 years old.
Okay, and?
And for sure, I know that you have to actually, behave things that you really see, but you actually, for example, you.
What they're trying to say is he should have common sense.
Common sense, yes. You, for example, you are one of the most examples that I can actually think about. Because you have a how old is Elizabeth? 26 years old.
And I'm still not done.
And I can see the connection between you and your daughter every single day.
Yes.
So you actually
for the rest of my life.
You actually involve in her life.
Oh yes.
Even that she's married now, she has a dog.
It doesn't matter. I am her protector. I'm her supporter. I am her everything. I'm her guidance. I'm the one that teaches her. Still to this day, I will keep teaching her.
She's very happy pregnant now with,
Yes.
With our grandson.
Yes.
And I can see you're still involved in her entire life.
I have to. Her finances, everything. I'm involved in everything. She
Correct.
does not make a move until she speaks to me because she wants to know. We brainstorm. I call it brainstorm. It's not that I'm controlling or she's my puppet, but we brainstorm. If she's going to make a purchase or something important, she will first talk to me and we will brainstorm, and I will tell her, these are the pros, these are the cons. But one thing I've always done to my daughter, since the moment she was born, I gave her the freedom. She has the freedom of choice. Mm-hmm. Even when she selected the bad friends, I would say to her, I'm going to step back. You know they're bad. I will step in the minute you can't control the situation. Correct. And I've always stepped in. I even do it with you. I will let you make your choices. You make your mistakes. But the moment I step in...
Sometimes bad choices.
I will only step in when it's needed. When I see that the person or someone or whatever is trying to take advantage, that's when I step in. And I will take care of the situation from then on out. But that's how parents should be. Because that is part of you. You brought that child into this world.
You are responsible.
And I'm sorry, your responsibility does not stop at 18.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous and absurd, my opinion. Mm-hmm. Your responsibility until the day you die.
Until the day you die.
And hopefully you will die before that child.
Attention out there, people watching on Facebook right now, until the day
you die.
You die.
Correct.
That's your responsibility.
Correct.
Otherwise...
And don't even treat it like a responsibility. It should be a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, yeah.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
I can get 10 phone calls a day because she's trying to select something or trying to purchase something. It doesn't matter. Give them the guidance, because no matter what happens, they will always come to you. You don't want them going to someone else. And if you instill this from the day they're born, trust me, you will have a successful child.
Absolutely.
You truly will.
I want to hear the opinion from people outside, people right now listening. How involved are you with your child's life? Are they really involved in their life?
Yeah.
I would like to know somebody who can actually call us and let us know. You can call us to 978-689-2900, 689-2900, and let us know how involved are you in your child life.
And we're going to take a break because I want to come back and give some points on who should be involved in your child's, health and also teachings. And also we want to say that Somos Green is the one that sponsors this program.
Absolutely.
And we thank Somos Green for that, because Somos Green focuses on educating the community and providing valuable resources, especially in Spanish-speaking communities where resources and information are scarce. So please, if you need any help with lowering your energy consumption, or you need guidance on how to make your home more affordable and comfortable, please, you can call us at 978-609-0771.
Absolutely. So let's come back, Soraya.
Yo te extrañaré, tenlo por seguro. Fueron tantos bellos y malos momentos que vivimos juntos. Los detalles, las pequeñas cosas, lo que parecía no importante, son las que más invaden mi mente al recordarte. Ojalá pudiera devolver el tiempo para verte de nuevo, para darte un abrazo y nunca soltarte. Más comprendo que llegó tu tiempo, que Dios te ha llamado. seguro.
Excelente, excelente. María,
¿Cómo pensar que la vida pueda terminar en un segundo? La vida es polvo, puede esparcirse en un momento. Nada traíste, nada te llevarás, solo lo que había dentro. Ojalá pudiera devolver el tiempo para verte de nuevo, para darte un abrazo y nunca soltarte. Más comprendo que llegó tu tiempo, que Dios te ha llamado para estar a su lado. Así Él lo quiso, pero yo nunca pensé que lo era tanto.
Ya no llores por mí, yo estoy en un lugar lleno de luz, donde existo, donde no hay nada, donde puedo descansar. No llores por mí, es tan bello aquí. Quiero que seas feliz, que te vaya bien, y cuando tengo que partir, espero verte aquí.
Yo te extrañaré, tenlo por seguro.
Well, let's continue here. Mente Positiva, Cuerpo Sano. Julio Santos and Zoraida Rosado. Zoraida, what else?
That song is very dear to me because that song reminds me of my son, who I lost at the age of 26.
26.
So, yes, so that song is very, very dear to me. It reminds me of him every single time I listen to it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
So the question was, how involved are you in your children's
In
life?
your child's
in
life.
your child's
yes.
life.
Yes.
Are you involved in the life, or you just put the limits? Do you put boundaries in your child life, or you stay with the child until he die? That's a question that we actually
Well,
have.
until you die. Hopefully
Until-
the child will not die first.
Actually. So we have a phone call, Zoraida. Let's see. Hello. 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 Hello.
You got it?
Yep. Yes. Hi. Hi. How are you today? We had the problem in English today,
Yes, it's in
Maria.
English.
How you doing, Maria? Excellent. This is Maria Lopez. Maria Lopez she's a businesswoman from the Lawrence community. She's a businesswoman. Maria, today we're talking about Maria. I know that you expressed to me that you are really involved in your child life. How involved are you in his life, in their lives? Because it's more than one, right?
They did already. I'm a grandma since 2 days ago. So, but I being single mom since my kids were little. Their father died when they were very, very little.
Oh.
So I've been trying to be there for them as a mother, as a friend, as a father. And it's not easy, but, you know, I think that worked for me was that I didn't give them quantity. I gave them quality of time. It's really hard for single parents or even for both parents to be there all the time because pretty much we have to work most of the time more than one job in order to keep the family in a good financial shape. It was my situation. But I try to, the little time that I spend with my kids, that being a good quality of time, I try to get involved in all the activities and to know who was their friend and try to bring those friends home and know they're caring too. So,
How old are they, Maria? How old are they?
oh my gosh, they are 28 and 24.
Questions, Zoraida? Questions for Maria?
Yes, I do. I have a question. When something comes up that's trivial or they're having an issue, how do you help them address it?
Well, the first thing that I did was not address the issue in the moment that I was mad, under anger. I tried to take time myself and just, calm down in there. I addressed the issue alone with the kids that made the mistake or misbehave or did whatever happened. And just I tried to think, okay, if it was me who made the mistake, how I would like my parents to address it. So I always try to wear their shoes. And that was something that really worked for me. So I tried to be fair. I gave the opportunity to listen with.
Okay, good. No, that's good. You took the proper steps, because in order to demonstrate control in front of children or even young adults, we have to show them that we calm down first, talk about it, and then find a solution.
Yeah, I always say, something, mom is mad right now, and this is not a good moment for me to talk to you. So do your homework, take a shower, and then we're going to talk. And I try to calm down because, when situations happen, you tend to get mad, and because that's not what you teach to your kids, and not always they do what you teach them. But the most important thing is not address issue under the anger, because you're not going to make the right decision. Probably you're going to say something that is not appropriate. You're going to do something that is later you can regret it. So I think the best thing is just take your time, calm down. If you need to go for a ride,
A walk in the park.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we totally agree.
Wow, Maria,
So
thank
you
you.
address things.
Yeah.
You address things well.
Yeah. Maria, you actually, I know that you are busy. I know that you're a busy woman. You're a businesswoman. What do you do for a living, Maria? Excellent. Where are you located? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the name of the business is Curiosity, right? Wow, Curiosity. I'm gonna bring you there, Zoraida.
You can find the most imaginable things there. Like, wow, look at what I found here. So you have to come and see it.
Excellent.
Heard about it today, and you're going to get a 15% discount on your first purchase.
Oh my God, 50% discount. Thank you, Maria. So, Zoraida, definitely, Maria is right. We have to be involved in the lifetime for us.
You have to take a step back and take a
At
moment.
least one night.
to realize-
Zoraida, the last thing
But
that
also-
I would like to strongly recommend the movie of the week. I choose one for you, Zoraida.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Oh.
I did.
Well, you chose the song very well, so I trust you.
Oh, perfect. So the movie that I really strongly recommend is the movie the Ron Clark story, 2000, and that was in 2006. That movie, and that was based on the true story
With the students, you mean?
with the student. Yes,
Oh, yes.
that was
Yes.
that was the story of the Ron Clark
Yes. It will show you the difference of what goes on at home and what goes on in school.
on the school
And how they're not connected, but this guy works so hard to get them
to
connected.
be
so
involved
that
in
way
that
the
child life.
is successful in life.
Absolutely. The Ron Clark story, based on the true story.
Thank you,
Watch the movie,
everyone.
please.
Have
I
a
recommend that movie.
Fabulous weekend. We thank you so much. Oh, and happy Easter to everybody.
Porque cuidar el planeta es responsabilidad de todos. Somos Green Incorporado invita a su gran cena de gala pro recaudación de fondos el sábado 12 de mayo en el Fairways at Woburn Country Club. Estos fondos serán utilizados para donar 2 sistemas solares a 2 centros de ayuda y rehabilitación en la República Dominicana. Únase a nosotros a celebrar nuestro segundo aniversario y a la vez ser parte de algo extraordinario. Habrá reconocimientos, rifas, premios y entretenimiento, tales como el artista Félix de Olio. Vestimenta formal. Boletos a la venta en nuestra página web www.somosgreen.org. Para más información, llamar a Zoraida al 978-609-0771. Somos Green. El futuro depende de hoy.